whenever the ball swung, they were driving and kicking. They got so many wide open threes. They got in the paint. Hey, man, if you don't want to be here, you can leave. If you don't want to be here, you can leave. I'm being honest with you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Well, the Milwaukee Bucks, they're off to a historically slow start, especially during the tenure of one Giannis Antetokounmpo as, their primary and best player. They've never started and looked this bad to start the season. They're off to a 2-7 start, and it's kind of crazy, to kind of see this. Everybody thought once they added Dame, they were going to add all this firepower, but they have not really looked that impressive, actually after getting rid of Adrian Griffith, where they was 31-13 and second in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to play a clip of Giannis, and Giannis seems to take a shot about, hey, if you don't want to be here, you can leave. Take a listen here.
Did we compete the previous game? Yes. Did we compete the two previous games, Cavs and Cavs? Yes. Did we compete today? No. It's something that you can control. This. If you're going to go out there and you're not going to compete, you're not going to win the game. Sometimes you compete, you're off and you don't win the game. But at least just give yourself a chance. We came to New York, we played great last night. We came to New York, we lost by 30. We don't compete. Are we okay with not competing? I don't know. I'm not okay with that. So we got to do a better job competing. We got Boston in 2 days. If you don't compete, you're going to lose by 30. Simple as that. Ball got to move, but body got to move too. The body got to move. Like, if you don't create space, you're not in the right position on the floor, like, you're not going to be able to get in the paint, no matter what you do. I'm saying? Even if you're willing and your intent is to get in the paint, you got to be in the right position, you got to move, you got to create space for the guys to get in the paint. I feel like sometimes we hold the ball. They play totally opposite from us. Whenever the ball swung, they were driving and kicking. They got so many wide open threes. They got in the paint. Hey, man, if you don't want to be here, you can leave. If you don't want to be here, you can leave. I'm being honest with you. They played great. We wasn't moving the ball. We really was not moving the ball. But we had good intention. But at times, at the end of the day, when you move the ball and the guys hold the ball and they're not driving and kicking, it's not going to look great.
Was Anunoby doing anything made it tough for you, or just in general? No.
As a leader of the team, your head can not be down. You can be frustrated at times, for sure. I'm frustrated. If you're not frustrated with losing, get out of here. Simple as that. There's a lot of things that we can clean up and do better. It starts with competing. We gotta compete. As I said, teams won't feel bad about us. They want us to keep on losing. They're not gonna be, that's 5 games below 500. Let's get them back on track so they can make the playoffs. It's not gonna work that way. You gotta go out there and earn it. And don't take it for granted. You don't have a lot of times in your life that you're gonna come in MSG and compete. I feel like sometimes we take it for granted. I'm a guy that don't take it for granted, and I try to compete whenever I can.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I hear that, I can see the Giannis Dame scenario coming to an end. Let's not forget, Damian Lillard had really spoken out about really wanting to go to Miami and join Bam Adebayo, which he's very close friends with, and he liked the idea of playing with Jimmy Butler as well. And Giannis seems to be, growing frustrated. Now there's, a couple of ways you can take this. This is a situation where, Giannis actually kind of brought this, actually had a lot to do with Dame getting there. Complaining, talking about the team, really had a hand in getting Adrian Griffith fired. But again, when Adrian Griffin got fired, they were 31-13 and second in the Eastern Conference. Boy, would they love that spot again. Now, Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, they were talking about the scenario, and they brought up their former coach, Doc Rivers, like, you're going to be on the clock, Doc, because you're going to be the first shoe to fall. Take a listen here at what they had to say.
You know how this go, that the first piece to go down will be the head coach.
It can't continue this bad.
Lord, if they don't
Like,
win,
you got to start showing some signs of something. You got to start, like, something. You got a top 5 player, and you still got Dame Lillard, who's still Dame time. Like, you going to have to resuscitate this motherfucker. What? They looking like they on life support?
man, bro, it don't look good, B.
They on life support.
laughing, you
It's only
laughing,
7
man.
games, Lord.
I'm not hitting.
It's 7 games.
I'm not hitting.
Damn, that's crazy.
Doc signed a $40 million deal at the top of the year, too.
He ain't going nowhere right now, dog. Come on, because it's gonna look bad on ownership, dog. You got rid of Adrian Griffin. You brought Doc in. You can't let Doc go.
1-9, 1
It don't
and
matter.
19.
He gonna have to go 1-81.
1-81.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't see them being this bad, but then I wouldn't have guessed they would be this bad out the joint.
Yeah, me neither though. You gotta be realistic. Like, if it gets to the point where this team don't look like it's gonna be a contender, and if it gets to the point because you starting to hear rumbles of Giannis, you know, he might request trade or this and that.
Mad as
You're gonna
Dame
have to
re-signed his
look,
brother.
and then you gotta look at the age of Dame. He's getting up there in age. You gotta feel like Middleton, he probably like, his career ain't gonna never be the same because he's dealing with all these surgeries. So he ain't gonna be able to be the Middleton that won your championship. So as an owner now, you're gonna have to be like, shit, we're gonna have to cut our losses.
Wow. It was a number of very good points actually made by both of them. Doc Rivers getting a new deal, man, that is gonna look bad because I'm sure there's some kind of buyout. You give him $40 million, so you just got to take this bad start. And Paul Pierce made a good point. He's like, at some point, it might not even matter because you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, who he's come out a couple of times and talked about if the team's not competitive, he is going to look elsewhere. Now, you know, they made the move for Dame. Things aren't working out with Doc Rivers as the coach. Dame hasn't played bad, so let's start there. I mean, I wouldn't understand why he would target Dame, but Dame is averaging, 27 points a game, shooting at 46%, playing, the best ball he's played. I mean, since he's come to Milwaukee. Giannis obviously has been Giannis, 30 and 13. So you understand why you're not winning. But who's that third cog? That's a very key point. You can't lose the players they lost and then also not have Middleton back healthy. I don't really care what you do. That's going to be too big of a hole to fill. I mean, you got two players averaging close to 60 combined, 57 points combined, and shooting well from the field. I mean, really playing some of their best ball of their career, to be perfectly honest. But after that, the drop off offensively, I mean, Bobby Portis is giving you, he's the next leading scorer and he's coming off the bench. They need that third wheel. They won the championship with Drew Holiday as the third wheel behind Chris Middleton and obviously Giannis. Well, who is that third? Who's going to be that third starter that really puts points on the board? And they don't have that. They just don't. They don't have that. Good point, Paul Pierce. Like, Chris may never come back and be Chris. He's been injured for since the championship year. To be honest with you, he's come back in spurts, looked like his old self, looked rusty at times, but he hasn't had any consistency. So now you're getting to a point where obviously Giannis has reached his prime. He's got some prime years. He's going to want to go compete for championships. And if it's not in Milwaukee, they might need to bust a move. But let me know what you guys think, man. Milwaukee, nobody saw them looking this bad. They do have Boston coming up, and how they compete, I agree with Giannis, is going to tell me a lot about that team. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm going to holler at you guys next time. Peace.